Microphone. Microphone. Let's play some music. Artlist.io. Music, 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 music. Oh, oh, oh. Music, music, music. Oh, oh. Music, 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 music. Oh, oh. What sort of genre should it be? Classical, jazz, lo-fi, chill beats. We like those. Those are always nice. Not too loud. And let's feel this sketchbook. Ooh, I forgot to do this one. Oh, let's see, I'll just do it back here. Hello, hello everybody. It's a very impromptu, quick March of Robot type thing. Pinterest. Just gonna do a quick robot. Not sure how much free time I have today, so just wanted to squeeze a robot in there because these live streams are sort of my best push to have me draw. So why not? I have a red pencil for my red ink, and I have an eraser somewhere here on the table as well. Not the most tidiest right now on my table, but hey, oh, there's the eraser. Alright, let's get started. Max. Shall something rounded? Maybe. Shall we do something rounded? And then let's cut off the top of it. Let's see what we can do with this. Big arms, why not? And tiny legs, why not? Am I in focus? Let me see. Should it be in focus? Yeah, it looks like we're in focus. If I am not in focus, if you can't see anything, you just tell me. If you can't hear me, say, but you should be able to hear me. You should be able to hear me. So despite my heartfelt wishes of doing March of Robots this year, it's not really working out. I have quite a lot of work, which is good. It's good having work, I can tell you that, because that brings in money, so I would not complain about that. And then still busy with our little child who is a very fun, active baby, but doesn't leave me a lot of energy to sketch. So we will have to do something about that soon, I hope. I could zoom in a little bit more. Okay, let's see if I can adjust this for you guys. If it's autofocus, I think this might be autofocus. So I might try and adjust that for you. Let's see, not this camera. This camera. Let's do configure video, camera control, focus, not auto, please. Okay, this should be, there we go. This should be nice and crisp, and it should stay nice and crisp. So honestly, with this Mac, I just saw some cutesy animal like Disney type animal on Pinterest, and I thought, oh, let me do something like that. Why not? So that's what we're doing here. No real thought behind it. Nothing really designed. This is really just sketching for the sake of sketching, which not the best, but also it's better than not sketching at all. So there. So that's how that is. So little arm. Niche. I'm not sure if it's niche, but could be. Let's fake some mechanisms because we're not gonna draw them. We're just gonna fake them. This is the beauty about drawing in smaller sizes. You can fake a lot of it. Please make lip bro. What? What do you mean by make lip bro? I will need some explanation for that comment, please. I would love to make lip, but I don't know what you mean by that. Actually, no, I take that back. I don't know if I would love to make lip because I don't know yet what that means. Once you explain it, maybe then I will love making lip, but we don't know. We don't know. Okay. Instead of lip though, I am going to make random mechanical detailing here. I think that's almost as good as lip. At least I think, once again, I don't know. Because this is fountain pen ink, I don't really want to touch it. Because I might smudge. And I'm not the biggest fan of smudging my fountain pens. Just because it happens often and it does not look nice. We still have no explanation for what lip means in this context. I'm very curious. I tried something that wasn't working out here, so I quickly had to readjust to see what happens there, but not the biggest fan. Let's split this down in the middle. And now looking at this, I want to reinforce this line. By that I mean make it a little bit thicker. Just because it's in front of the rest of the lines and I need it to pop out a little bit more. I had some reference there. Let me just pop back with a pencil just to define the shape a bit more. So I have too many lines there, so I'll remove a couple. Let's see, something feel like I would need, I'm trying to do it without articulation, but I do need to split this up a little bit into at least. And then some hidden articulation there as well. And here it actually shouldn't be that visible. We're going to play a little bit with shading there. And I'm just gonna do this, suggesting that that is in shadow, and then we can do some of that here as well. And then we can hint at an articulation for the legs there. Something like that. Hola, soy Dora. Hola Dora, ¿cómo estás? I imagine not Dora the Explorer. That's the only Dora I know. I don't see why she would come to this stream. Oh, that would be pretty cool, I would say. Let's make this line a little bit smoother. I did not make up my mind yet what sort of hands I want. Maybe just claws. That's a cool ship. Thank you, but it's not my ship. It's Mr. Deep Frizz's ship. You can find him on Instagram by the name Deep Frizz. We met up for coffees not so long ago, and I forced him by gunpoint to draw something in my sketchbook. Windy notes. Hi, audio volume too low. That's the problem. Thank you for pointing that out. Let me fix that immediately. Sound settings. Device properties. Bam! Now you should hear me much better. Thank you for pointing that out. Nice, robot is in view. I'm gonna trick you guys by not talking for a while, so you will think that the audio volume is still low. Okay, let's do this hand as well. Okay, and then let's just gonna add a bit of shadow to our robot-y fella. I never strive to make these shadows realistic or correct. I just want to ground it a little bit. Something like this should work already for that. And since I don't want to do too much detailing on this one, we're just gonna do a little bit of wear and tear. Eyes maybe, I forgot about adding eyes. So we're just gonna do some indents. This should be able to rotate, so I'm gonna just play around a little bit and give it a bit of extra space there. And this section line would be nice to have it represented on the other side as well. Some rounding there, some speckles there. Body is just a little bit too boring. We need to do something with that as well. We can add some things there, maybe some there. Okay. Feel free, if you have questions, to ask questions. I'm not sure how long this stream will go on, but while I have you, and if you have any, well, by questions I obviously mean drawing related questions. I will not be able to help you with structural integrity of architectural projects. But when it comes to just drawing nonsense, I could be helpful. It could happen. Here, this arm would be a little bit thicker as well. And then, as I said, I wanted to do something with the front. Yeah, I was thinking of going with something not symmetrical, but I think symmetrical works better on this design. Well, design. I wouldn't go as far as call it design. Let's just call it a sketch for now. Should we add something to the hat? Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I think that would work. That might work. So I'll just draw over my lines here. It's fine if they intersect. Sometimes that just happens. It's not like it's a final drawing anyway. It's just a fun little whatever it is. And you wouldn't even notice it. And then we can make the legs just a little bit thicker. Not a necessity, but I think in this case it might help. And I'll add a little bit of this sort of rotational whatever. I have no name for that. I like this sort of a little bit of wear and tear. Just adding some bulgy areas, some areas that were clearly hit with something. It just brings a little bit of life into your drawings. All right. That's a little mech there. Could do another one. What nib is that fine? F, yeah. So I think it counts as fine. Yeah, indeed. I'm here now, you can start. Hey, Ru. Welcome, welcome. And I have also one that is not fine. M, there we go. I didn't know about the nibs when I started out with my fountain pens. I learned about them, but by the time I got it, it was a bit too late. It's 4:07. We can squeeze in at least one more mech. In the meantime, you guys can think about questions if you have them. Ooh, I like this. I like this pose. So what I like to do is I look at character sketches on Pinterest, and if I find something that I like, I just try to take that pose and see if I can place a robot into that pose. And this one is quite a nice one. I don't know what to do with the upper body just yet. That's a bit tricky because they have an upper body like that, but obviously I don't want to follow that. I would like to turn it a little bit into something more of mine, and also then it's less of stealing somebody's ideas if you implement more of your own. What's your thought process for creating a mech? Well, usually I like to take my time, do some research. I have, so thought process wise, I don't have, wait, I think I have a couple sketches in here somewhere. Okay, yeah. So, let me see if I can switch quickly. This is just some explanation of my working process and thinking process. Let me go to my Instagram because I don't want to run all the way down now. So on my Instagram, there we go. I can switch now. Where are we? Display capture. There we go. All right. So somebody asked me to draw a mech for them. So I was just ideating. They gave me some direction. They told me like sort of an old war mech that has been used by a girl's grandfather, but the girl changed it for herself. And the idea was, okay, like what would be an old war mech? I like to go to World War II, and I like a lot of Titanfall. So I did sort of this. Also a lot of inspirations from Instagram artists. And then I did another one just in case, because I liked the bulkiness of it. But then I started doing these sketches on paper to explore it a little bit more. Then I switch back to the paper for a second. Bam. So you can see this is the same mech. Here you can see the mech. I was just trying to see, okay, how would it look like in an action pose. I wanted to look at the cockpit area, how things connect to it, like just trying some detail sketches, like what works. And this was just the original mech. That's not what I have to design. So for my design then, I took this that I sketched out, like, okay, I like this. So this was the original mech. So what would the girl change? So in my idea, this would be a firefighting mech somewhere up in the mountains in the woods. So I was like, okay, so she removes the gun, like the normal arms, which were for fighting. She doesn't care about fighting anymore. And she would replace them with like stronger gorilla arms. One with a chainsaw to cut through debris to get to the fire, sort of a foam shooter on one arm. I also did like another direction, and then you would have like a big water cannon on top with a big water tank behind the tank, and there's where you go in. So I had all these sketches, and then I did a couple of, I think during a stream I did these, just trying to see, okay, what sort of color scheme I would want to go. Very rough, just 4 of the same sketches with different, I could have done this digitally, but I just felt like, you know what, let me do this traditionally. Actually, I don't know why I'm showing this to you guys here, because I actually have that in here, I think. So once again, this mech, and then move around it, and yeah, here we go. So here were the color explorations for the same Mac, and then I put it on paper, and right now I am in the process of inking it. And the idea is that the girl is just on one of the arms doing some fixing, maybe there's a welding cannon, something welding, and I'm going to do maybe some light watercolor background. But the idea for the whole mech was like, okay, what does like a war mech look like, and how can we transform it into the brief that I was given? So that is sort of my way of thinking when it comes to this sort of things. Windy knows, you could also try to get an EF nib in the future on your smaller drawings. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, you're right, because I like these two, but I would like to try out an even thinner one. I imagine EF stands for even thinner. Pinterest is getting to be more AI crap. It's starting to suck. Oh, it's been sucking for months now, if not a whole year. Ever since the AI stuff started, it is just really, it is no fun at all. Awesome explanation. Glad you liked it. I'm just thinking of CRTs. I like CRTs. I am old person, so obviously I also like CRTs. EF stands for extra fine. Yeah, I could have thought so much. Okay, so we need a bit of, the character has a bit of a lower back, that is like a thinner waist here, so I think I have to go with that because that just looks good. A thinner waist, and then we could have something there. I feel like a big shoulder and thin arms might work here. The thing is, I'm like a messy thinker, but then I like my lines to be very not messy if possible, so that it doesn't always end up in a good combo. No, this just is not working for me with this upper body. CRT, that might actually... What if I just do a big CRT? Looking at the reference as well, we give it a little bit of a tilt. Yes, I actually like the CRT idea, so that's what we're gonna do. Well, thank you very much for the inspiration. I'll give it small dinosaur claws, because why not? Alright, let's leave it a little bit. Let me see if I can figure some things out when I start the whole inking process. I don't know, is it still called inking? Technically it is ink. Oh, squirrels are sneaky. Hey. Yeah, I didn't know if I'll manage today to come on, so well, not that I forgot, but I decided not to pre-plan this. And then I did have the time to come on, just briefly. I feel like cold cathode lights could work. It's what gaming computers used before LED lights. Light tubes. I mean the big CRTs, you mean? Squirrels, how are you, man? How are things? I'm good. Things are okay. We had a period, that's why I didn't come on last week, where our baby decided that he doesn't want to drink any more liquids. And that was pretty difficult because it was quite scary. We didn't know how we're gonna get enough liquids into him and also nutrients because he needs his milk powder thing. But then this week, or that in the weekend I think, out of nowhere he was like, okay, I'm good again. And now he's chugging down milk like crazy again. So I guess it is what it is. I'm very happy for that. But yeah, I am still struggling a little bit with properly carving out free time for myself where I have enough creative juice in my head to do just drawing for myself. So that's a bit difficult. Windy notes. Do you ever use watercolor instead of markers for coloring? I mean, if you look through this sketchbook, almost everything here is watercolor. I don't really have any markers in this sketchbook. Watercolor. Okay, there's a lot of inks here. Ink, but this, again, watercolor, watercolor, watercolors, watercolor. Yeah, so I could go through the whole thing, like even from last year, a couple of watercolors, and then some ugly watercolors, and then again, watercolors just being outside doing live sketching. So this sketchbook is nothing but watercolors. I actually haven't worked in ink at all in a long time. Ink, Jesus, what am I talking about? Markers. I haven't used markers in a very, very long time, it feels like. Alien. Hey Robert, say if you were uploading something in ArtStation, something very official, would you consider redrawing for better result or not? Like, are there any specific standards you have from more official? For official work, like if I delivered the work and the client liked it, I am not really adjusting it. Because that's what the client wanted. That's what the client paid for. If you are trying to make yourself a portfolio and want to attract potential clients, and decided that ArtStation is where you're building this portfolio, I would suggest take all the time you can, reasonably of course, and upload the best quality that you can. And not just final renders, but also a little bit of the thought process, a little bit of your sketches. At least I personally love to see that sort of stuff because I don't just care about people who draw nicely. I want to know that people can design and think, and that only comes through rougher sketches. Also, hello Alien, been a while. I was drawing earlier, I get really obsessed over the line art. Which is good and bad. I think I am a line art obsessive person as well, but it many times it clogs you down instead of helping you. At least I noticed on myself. I wish I was less interested and caring about line art. Yeah, these arms I did not think through at all, so I don't know. There's not gonna be a lot of design thought behind them. Squirrels. He had to make up for the week he missed. Yeah. I only use markers when I'm camping. What do you use otherwise, Ru? Like watercolor or computer or digital stuff? Squirrel, what your colors? We're getting super foundational on this stream. Watercolor, watercolor, watercolors. Okay, thank you. I guess that's my accent a little bit there, jumping out at you guys. Well, how are you doing? How's how's teaching aside from work? I mostly draw characters from my stories as it helps write them when can see them. I mean, that is something similar what I do for work. I don't do that sort of stuff, but I help people think and visualize their strategies and what they want to achieve in their companies. I think it is underrated, criminally underrated, how important it is to see what you're talking about. Regardless of if that is characters that you are drawing for yourself or if it is company related strategic decision and decision making. Hey Andy Gorman, welcome from Not Down Under. Okay, I don't want to insult you. You're a New Zealander, right, Andy? Not Australian. Yeah, you're a New Zealander. Ruga uses watercolor and Krita. So you scan in, like you do work with watercolor, and sometimes you scan it in and go over it in Krita as well? Or is it just two different mediums that you use separately? Now here's a tricky situation. Usually I like making the CRT monitor darker, but I have no idea how I would do that with just lines. I mean, I think it reads that it is a CRT monitor. Okay, let's see what else we have. I use digital, so at least have a lot of control. I also got the resolution working as it is. Jesus Christ, I never worked at that high of a resolution. Yes, Ru, I asked. There you go, okay. Team 60, how would you even sketch without line art and traditional art? What can you use? Markers, even watercolor. Like you can easily sketch with watercolor as well. But yeah, markers are the easiest. I still use traditional media like mechanical pencil and paper, but have used digital as well. I mean, it's nice to combine the two. Awesome resolution. I feel like that's I agree with that. I was on spring break last week, so it was great. But now we're starting to get beyond the fundamentals, so this is where the fun creative stuff starts. I always like the weird zany ideas. Oh, that's nice. Like because fundamentals are always pretty much the same. So it's nice when you have them tackle like more complex ideas and they have to come up with their own solutions. that leg is a bit in darkness. So Rugai, where are we? At Alien. Watercolor is praised more than markers artistically. And at the end it is cheaper if can mix, no? I mean, I don't know if artistic, like, if you can do something amazing with markers, I think that is just as worthwhile as watercolors. I don't see why one would be better than the other. I guess why it's praised is watercolor, it's hard to control. Like these are super simple things. Like these are not the hard watercolor parts, but like if you want to do something really nice with watercolor, that is hard to control. And I guess that's why people give it a bit more value. Rugai answers to my question, both. I do watercolor on the weekends and draw a lot on krita and pencil during the week because I only have an hour or two after work. Nice. I like to think that this little robot turns on dark mode before committing crime. I don't know if it will see a lot if it turns on dark mode. Now an EF would be nice to have, an EF nib, because it is hard to go super thin. Okay, let's add a couple. I think we're mostly done with this. We just need to erase. Now we can start erasing the. Oh no. Why? I thought you were dry. Why you do this to me? Well, I guess it is what it is then. Yeah. Now I'm just going in. Now I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I don't care anymore. I think maybe because my hand touched this a lot, so it couldn't really. Well, actually, let's use this to our advantage. There's no reason in despairing when you can use this to. I just should have a better. This is a bit too thick. We need a thinner one. Oh yeah, I shouldn't touch the ink though. That was a bit silly of me. Should not touch the ink. Because ink is obviously soluble. Yeah. It's not, I can't really fix it with this. I'm not artistic enough for it. We can give a little bit of shine here and there. Okay, maybe it also like the white stuff wasn't flowing enough. There, now that it's flowing better, the result is a little bit more to my liking. It is what it is. $4:30, Andy, Jesus, Jesus. That's early. I feel like it should have two goofy 80 CCTV cameras atop the display. Oh, maybe. Shuts off camera and turns on dark mode. 404. Oh, the 404 blue screen would have been. I should have done that. That would have been better. Yep. Oh my gosh, Robert, you're dead now. No F word. Keep it family friendly. Oh, that is correct. I should do that. Okay, let's see. Do we destroy this as well? Okay, no. So there's something maybe with that red ink that is not happy about being erased. Because look how nicely this gets erased. That is what it is, as the Dutch say. My hand drags across the canvas as I hold the pen strangely. Probably why digital works. For me, my problem with traditional was that I had very sweaty palms, and I always smudged my drawings. That's why also the industrial design type of drawing works better for me. This one also needs a little bit of shadow. Well, that's a shame, but hey, it is what it is. Actually, what if we do this? Actually, we did try to cut back on the swearing words. As you can see, it's not really working fantastically so far. I guess when he starts speaking, it will be more of a, well, I don't want to say urgent, but just more noticeable, and then we will be more successful in cutting back. Actually, I could have done this with a bigger one as well. No F words, family of, mother family. I feel like this might be dried out. Oh, there we go. Just needs a while to start up. Well, this is gonna look super ugly when I scan it. Or interestingly weird. One or the other. And these, wait, where? Floppy diskette, flash drive, flat square, these are the F words. 5 1/4 inch, only if we go... Oh, okay, I have a call. Give me 1 second, ladies and gents. That was the lady of the house coming home. Alright, maybe we can squeeze one more tiny robot in here. Think of the 2.88 megabyte 3.5. I remember the old floppy disks, man. I don't know if I ever had a 3.5er. Rugai, yeah, the wife and I had that problem too. Of course, your son will be multi-profanity language. Yeah, Turkish for, like, even I even knew a couple of Turkish swear words before I met the wife, so we're gonna prepare the child in that. Try the Posca white pen. Posca might give other issues. What sort of issues? Okay, shall we do a quick something else? Okay, let me see what sort of other references we can get here. Honestly, I never heard about Posca brand before, and then in the last week I saw it everywhere. I don't quite know where this came from. I don't know how it was hiding until now, and now like I saw the markers, Posca markers everywhere. It's too complicated. Okay, and now we do something just quick. We don't care about this third one. This should be a more loose one. I don't want to put too much effort, but I will try and watercolor this one. Pseudo swearing is the best. What in the flapping dog? Ever smelled a Posca pen? It sounds like I love the crazy wild smell of these things, so I feel like I could get addicted to smelling those pens. So if your fear is addiction to smelling those pens, then I think that's a very well-founded fear for me, or at least reason to not look into them. So this is a floating bug-like mech robot thing. I don't know. I don't quite know why it exists. In my head it's something like the Star Wars probe droids. Information gathering, stuff like that. Okay. Let's draw some joints, some pistons that are moving these things. Actually, let me be brazen and put one of those little dishes. They have, I think the probe droids do have at least one of them has that little dish on them. Okay, these are very black eyes. I should have a 3 here somewhere. A child that can insult people regardless of where they're from or what they speak is strangely welcome. I own a ton of Posca stuff. It's cheap and you can get it at Walmart. well, I saw it in a fancy schmancy art store, so I don't know if it's cheap. I honestly, I didn't look up the price because I didn't realize that Posca is something that I should care about. But it didn't seem cheap here, at least. Okay, there are the black eyes. My pets are all virtual, but they're real to me. Alright, man. In my country, shops always out of them. Uniposca. Are these new designs for your graphic novel? No, Rue, you know it's not. Posca pens are great markers and have great range of colors. They also have a strong smell. You get used to it. Well, it depends what kind of strong smell. Some strong smells I really enjoy. Others slightly less. Okay, a little tacky neck area here. Okay, now we can add some section lines, some detailing here and there. I should have a 005 or somewhere here. Okay, and then I'll take a tour and just make the outlines a little bit thicker, just so it pops just the slightest bit more. Actually, I would like these to be connected as well. I was thinking, oh, let them float, but no, it would be nice for it to be connected. All right, we wait a second, and actually I'm not even gonna grab my big watercolors, just these travel ones, so you guys can see. I'll do it like this. There you go, now you can see. Ba-bum-bum. Most of my friends use the white Posca marker. Its coverage over black is insane. Okay, you guys convince me. Robert, I've been meaning to ask, how are your CAD 3D modeling skills? Do you usually go past 3D stage of your design work, past the 2D stage? They're a bit aged, I would say. I do a little bit every now and then, like especially if I need to do some project for home, a desk, something like that, something needs to be put together. I like to throw it into Fusion and just make sure that I have all the right measurements. But it's been a while since I had to use CAD on a regular basis. So I definitely wouldn't say that my skills are fantastic. I can get up to speed relatively quickly, but yeah, it would be dishonest of me to say that they're very good at the moment. Rue, now that I look at them, they are called Uniposca. Maybe they are their discount line. I don't understand modeling. Hardware is a lot more fun to me. What? What does that mean? If it has PC1M7 white and it's awesome because it's the linear size. Why would okay? I'm not from a country where linear size is not the standard. That's just what we do here. Everything is linear size. There's my toilet paper. let me get rid of this screen. I don't like it. I want a bit of space for some. So I want some bluish gray, which honestly I don't remember how to do, because I can do gray with a bunch of reds and blues that will add up in sort of a gray. But I also want to play a little bit. So usually what's really nice with watercolor, not on this paper, because this is not really watercolor paper. It barely holds a bit of water. But I'm gonna try nonetheless and add a bit more water. And take a bit of there. And then add a little bit of this blue. Or no blue at all apparently. Okay. So this is not really working out as I was hoping it would. Like I want watercolor to run, but in this case we did not run at all. To my sadness. So we're just gonna do. So while this is wet, I'm gonna try and make a darker version of this. Adding a bit of brown and a bit of red. Sadly, it is drying relatively fast, but as you can see, it is sort of a darker shade. We just need a bit more pigment. So I'm gonna take a little bit of all of them and try to. Ah, we need more blue. It's still not blue enough. Okay, run. Run in the water, please. Okay, and then what I like to do, we're gonna take now sort of a brownish and do the mechanical parts in between the surfaces. I'm using 25 pixel pen size on my digital stuff, usually abnormally huge, but in on canvas size. 25 pixels is not thin. I have a weird disconnect with my 2D, 3D design work myself. For school, I teach drawing exclusively, but at work, I spend 99% of my time in Fusion. It's a rare treat when I get to take a 2D sketch. Yeah, I can imagine that, especially in industrial design, like when you're doing, it's only a little bit in the beginning phase when you actually might have to do 2D sketching, right? The rest is all just building stuff in 3D, because especially if you build parametrically like you're supposed to as an industrial designer. So let's keep it more warm. Let's not go too much towards. Okay, if you build it parametrically, that's also what's good for the client, because you can adjust it very quickly, right? So the client can easily give you adjustment requests, and you can adjust your model based on what their needs are. Let's add another leg. We can add actually several legs just with watercolor, and that will push them more in the background as well. There we go. It's, oh, I didn't finish the reading. It's rare that when I get to take a 2D sketch, that I made myself into a 3D model. But is that then work-related or personal? Would you do that for your personal stuff? What type of paper? It's just very cheap mixed media paper. So it's not really great for markers. Well, actually, it's bad for markers and not really great for watercolor. Let me put it like that. What would you do when you want to make a white tiny dot for your thumbnail? Like really small. You mean traditionally? I would use, I have this Molotov, which usually is good. Just right now it shed the bed, but it has pretty good coverage. Or I have gouache. I would use white gouache that covers relatively well when it comes to traditional art. Yeah, all my stuff is parametric. It really needs to be, since we build large furniture and interiors, so unexpected site conditions or change comes along all the time. Usually it's my personal stuff when I can sketch my ideas, then 3D print or whatever. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I learned about industrial design, that they teach you like all the steps from talking to the client, having to do the research for the product, doing all the ideation for the product, doing some early prototyping, then based on those prototypes, refining them, coming up with a product, then doing final iteration of the product, doing the final assembly of the product. They teach you all these steps in industrial design, and you never, or almost never, have a job where you go from all the way to the beginning to all the way to the end. You're gonna be one part of this chain, but not the whole assembly. And that actually made me a bit sad, because I was very excited for that part of industrial design, and then I found out, oh yeah, that actually doesn't really exist, in the sense that you have teams, and you have teams that split apart and do parts of the stuff that you would love to do. Oh, so this is a bit too... what we're gonna do now is take the other brush, which might be a bit too big, and add a bit of water on this. Hopefully washing it a little bit out. There we go. Yeah, that's why I asked the type of paper you used. I like using markers, but know that watercolor paper, any paper other than another smooth paper, destroys your markers. Yeah, it does. It's really not worth it unless you have all the money in the world. Like I think, I'm not sure. I don't think I have any in this one. Let me quick. Oh, here we go. Speaking of the devil, this is just ink, but this is marker, and this is marker. And that was the last markers I used in this. These are the only two marker sketches I know that I used in this sketchbook. It really, you can do it, but it will drain your markers like crazy. So yeah, you can do it, not recommended. Okay. Back to, I feel like I don't even know if you guys can see this. Let me see if I can wait, let's do this. Yeah, I feel like the colors are too lights almost for this camera to pick up, so you guys don't even see what I'm doing, which is a shame, because it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. No, it's not. On YouTube it can accept pixels, but also has good lines. 1000 by 1000 pixels. 200. Oh, that's a lot of loss of quality. Which is Skura says that's my experience with it too, which is why I'm glad I teach to still be able to draw regularly, and why I like personal projects to be able to do a little of everything. In theory, anyways. Who has time for personal projects these days? Well, I am learning that that is a thing of the past apparently, because I will not have much time for those either. Or at least I don't find the time that easily. Okay, I want to do one darker stretch there, and then we are done. In the meantime, we can chat a little bit more. Let's see. Penguin, what about the pen marker you are outlining with? Do those get destroyed from? No, not at all. So I am using Tombow pens. Like I have them. It's basic. Wait, I just bought a new set just in case. So I think America and Asia's have the microns or the Copic fine liners. Europe have a lot of Staedtler. I think it's Dutch Staedtler if I'm correct. Basically the same pens as these. Tombow is Japanese, really good stuff. Like if you look at this, it's just very, very black. I like it. I like very much how these pens work. So usually these fine liners work perfectly fine on all-purpose. What did I call this paper? Multi-purpose, whatever. Mixed media paper. It should work perfectly fine, because I also always go for fine liners that are waterproof, because I want to watercolor them over them potentially, and these are very good. Andy is off to work. Thank you for popping in, Andy. Have a great day. And so is Ru. He also has to go. Wish you a great day too, Ru. Squirrel, we have a Staedtler here in the US too. I think microns tend to be more popular. Yeah, that's what I said. So microns are a bit more States and also Asia. I have a Staedtler fine liner. I've been afraid of using fine liners on paper other than smooth paper. I would say start off with like some super cheap stuff. Here, let me show you. So I live in the Netherlands, and we have like a convenient store, sort of like a supermarket. They sell these, so we call it Hema. But you can buy 12 of these for like €2. It costs nothing. You can go over it with marker. It's super fine. Another cheap version is Arteza, also fine liners. None of these are waterproof, so just don't use it with watercolor, but you can use them with markers. Super cheap, you can build up your confidence, also just to start drawing with fine liners without necessarily under drawings. And then once you have that confidence, you can move on to other ones. In the beginning, I had that problem as well, that I had some really fancy. When I was a student, everything that wasn't for free was fancy for me. But like something more branded, like a Staedtler, and I didn't want to use it. Even my Staedtler pencils are like, oh, let's not use the Staedtler one. Just start using them. After a while, you get used to it. It's fine. You need to build up a little bit of confidence, because the more confidence you have, the nicer your lines are gonna come out in the end as well. Hey Hussein, welcome man. Squirrels, I also have a set of Koh-i-Noor rapidographs that I've been too scared to touch. That's so funny, because Koh-i-Noor pencils, at least when I was growing up, they counted as like the cheapest pencils you can buy. So I would have never put them into the fancy schmancy category. Is this dry yet? It seems to be dry. Okay, let's pick some of these darker. Actually, I'm just going to mix a little bit more together. Let's take a bit of red and a bit of blue, and add just a bit of water because I don't have any water there. There we go. Okay, and what I wanted to do around water, I wanted to make the eyes red. Let's see how that works. Not enough water? Okay, I feel like I need to clean one more area. There we go. Now let's try this. Okay, that's that. I like Tombow Mac pencil and ball pens. Their designs are very unique and interesting. I think I have a ball pen, not a mechanical pencil from them. The best artist tool is an Apple Puck mouse, so easy to draw with them. Sure. Not sure what that is. What if I use my fine liners on sandpaper? Would they survive? For a short time? I don't think for too long. I use Sakura microns, but I have lost my whole set. Ouch! That sounds painful. That does sound painful. I think this needs to be blue. I think we need the numbers to be blue. I was thinking yellow, but then that's gonna be too much yellow. This should suffice. Now let's see if I have steady enough hands. Ah, would you look at that? I did have steady enough hands. All right, let's see the last comments. And with that, we can close today's live stream. Let me move this out so it's, there we go. This is what we did today. The Rapidographs are nice refillable technical pens that are notoriously finicky and therefore professional for some reason, or at least it's what back when I was first starting out. Okay, I'm not familiar with those. Is Faber-Castell cheaper compared to Staedtler in your country as well? No, I think they're pretty much, they're on the same level. They're on the same level. SY3 Studio Penguin, if you use them on the back of the sandpaper, they work even longer. Oh, it's a mouse. Like, why would I want to use a mouse for drawing? No, thank you. You're still on, I'm back. You didn't do anything awesome? No, I did not. Also, you can see everything on the screen that I did. All right, ladies and gents, that was it for today. Just a couple of mechs and robots, because I'm very much behind on March of Robots. This was very much a fun little hour for me, or actually, no, about an hour. Hope you enjoyed it too. See you in the next one, whenever that will be. Bye-bye.